Welcome to Bible Chronicles. Today, we're uncovering a history that challenges what many of us have been taught, the true origins of the Catholic Church. Before we start, I invite you to subscribe to Bible Chronicles if you haven't already. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when new videos are posted. Also, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps us reach more people. And if this video resonates with you, please share it with your church group, family, and friends so they can find peace and understanding through God's Word. The story of the Catholic Church's foundation is a remarkable journey that challenges many commonly held beliefs about its origins. While traditional narratives often present a straightforward path from Jesus' appointment of Peter to today's Vatican, the historical reality reveals a far more complex and fascinating journey that spans centuries of human struggle, divine inspiration, and remarkable transformation. This story, filled with moments of triumph and tribulation, begins in the dusty streets of Jerusalem and extends through time to become one of the most influential forces in human history. In the earliest days, Christianity was nothing like the powerful institution we know today. The first followers of Jesus, who called themselves followers of the Way before they were even known as Christians, were a small, persecuted group meeting in secret throughout the Roman Empire. These early Christians gathered in private homes called Domus Ecclesiae, house churches, and hidden locations, sharing meals called agape feasts, prayers, and stories about Jesus. Their community structure was surprisingly egalitarian, with leadership roles often shared among members rather than concentrated in a strict hierarchy. These early communities were marked by their intense devotion, shared resources, and strong sense of brotherhood that transcended social barriers, a revolutionary concept in the highly stratified Roman world. The initial spread of Christianity throughout the Roman Empire was remarkably rapid, despite facing significant obstacles. Merchant networks, Roman roads, and Jewish diaspora communities provided crucial pathways for early missionaries. The use of Greek as a common language throughout the Eastern Mediterranean facilitated the spread of Christian teachings, while the Pax Romana allowed relatively safe travel throughout the empire. Early Christian communities established themselves in major urban centers like Antioch, Alexandria, and Rome, each developing its own distinctive traditions while maintaining connections with other Christian communities through letters, visits, and shared texts. The role of Peter, traditionally considered the first pope, deserves careful examination. While the Gospel of Matthew records Jesus' famous words, "You are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church," the early Christian community's actual structure was far more complex than a simple papal hierarchy. Peter certainly held significant influence, but early historical sources show other leaders, such as James in Jerusalem and Paul in his Gentile missions, wielding considerable authority. The archaeological evidence, including the Dead Sea Scrolls and other ancient texts, has helped scholars paint a more nuanced picture of this dynamic early period. The relationship between Jewish Christians and Gentile converts was particularly complex, with debates over Jewish law and customs creating significant tensions in the early church. The development of Christian theology in these early years was a gradual process marked by intense debate and discussion. Early Christians struggled to reconcile their Jewish heritage with their new faith, while also making their message comprehensible to Gentile converts steeped in Greek philosophy. The writings of Paul, the earliest Christian documents we possess, show this process in action as he worked to explain Christian concepts using language and ideas that would resonate with both Jewish and Gentile audiences. The eventual emergence of the New Testament canon was a lengthy process, with different communities using different collections of texts well into the 3rd century. The term Catholic, meaning universal, didn't appear until around 107 CE, when Ignatius of Antioch first used it to describe the Christian community. This historical detail alone suggests that the institutional structure we know today evolved gradually rather than emerging fully formed from the beginning. Ignatius's letters provide valuable insight into the early development of church hierarchy, as he emphasized the authority of bishops and the importance of unity among Christian communities. His writings also show how Christian communities were beginning to develop more formal structures to maintain orthodoxy and handle practical matters of church governance. The early church faced numerous challenges, none more severe than the periodic persecutions under Roman emperors. Following Nero's persecution in 64 CE, Christians endured periods of severe suppression, leading to the development of distinctive practices and symbols, such as a fish symbol used as a secret identifier. The catacombs beneath Rome became not just burial places, but meeting spaces for Christian communities, their walls decorated with some of the earliest Christian art. These underground galleries, stretching for miles, bear witness to a community that maintained its faith despite extreme pressure. During periods of persecution, Christians developed sophisticated theological responses to martyrdom. Stories of martyrs like Polycarp of Smyrna, who calmly faced his execution in the arena, Justin Martyr, who defended Christianity through philosophical arguments before his death, and Perpetua and Felicity, whose prison diary provides a powerful testament to Christian faith, became crucial parts of Christian identity. As Tertullian famously observed, the blood of martyrs is the seed of the church. These martyrdom accounts were carefully preserved and read in Christian communities, inspiring believers and shaping Christian self-understanding. The church faced significant intellectual challenges from various movements, particularly the Gnostics, who offered radically different interpretations of Christian teaching. The Gnostic texts rediscovered at Nag Hammadi in 1945 reveal alternative views of Jesus' message that emphasized secret knowledge over faith and suggested a more complex cosmic order than Orthodox Christianity accepted. These texts, including the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary, and the Gospel of Philip, show the diversity of early Christian thought and the challenges church leaders face in defining Orthodox belief. Early church fathers like Irenaeus of Lyon, Origen of Alexandria, and Tertullian worked tirelessly to defend and define the faith against these alternative interpretations. Their writings established many of the theological principles that would become central to Catholic doctrine. Irenaeus emphasized the importance of apostolic succession and the unity of Old and New Testaments. Origen developed sophisticated methods of biblical interpretation that influenced Christian theology for centuries. Tertullian, though he later joined the modernist movement, coined many theological terms still used today and developed important concepts about the Trinity and the nature of Christ. The conversion of Emperor Constantine in the 4th century marked a decisive turning point that would forever change the Church's relationship with secular power. His victory at the Milvian Bridge in 312 CE, which he attributed to divine intervention, led to the Edict of Milan in 313 CE, which did more than just legalize Christianity. It began a process of integrating Christian institutions with imperial power. Constantine's motivation for embracing Christianity likely combined genuine spiritual conviction with political strategy. Under his reign, Christian symbols began appearing on imperial coins. Christian advisors gained positions in the imperial court, and magnificent churches were constructed, including the original St. Peter's Basilica. The Council of Nicaea in 325 CE, convened under Constantine's supervision, represented the first attempt to establish empire-wide Christian orthodoxy. The council tackled crucial questions about Christ's nature, particularly in response to the Arian controversy, which questioned whether Jesus was fully divine or a created being. The resulting Nicene Creed became a cornerstone of Christian doctrine, though its acceptance wasn't immediate or universal throughout Christendom. The council also addressed practical matters like calculating the date of Easter and establishing standard procedures for church governance. The aftermath of Nicaea saw continued theological debates and political maneuvering. The Arian controversy persisted for decades, with emperors sometimes supporting and sometimes opposing Nicene orthodoxy. This period saw the emergence of great theological figures like Athanasius of Alexandria, who defended the Nicene position despite repeated exiles, and the Cappadocian Fathers, Basil the Great, Gregory of Nazianzus, and Gregory of Nyssa, who developed sophisticated theological explanations of the Trinity and the nature of Christ. Rome's emergence as the center of Christianity despite Jerusalem being the location of Jesus' ministry, reflected the political realities of the time. Several factors contributed to Rome's primacy. Its status as the imperial capital, claims to both Peter and Paul's martyrdom, relative stability compared to Eastern churches, strategic location between East and West, and considerable wealth and political connections. The development of papal authority was gradual, with bishops of Rome slowly expanding their influence through careful diplomacy, theological arguments, and practical assistance to other churches. The collapse of Roman authority in the West actually increased church political involvement, with popes like Leo I negotiating with Attila the Hun and Gregory I administering Rome during times of crisis. The church became the primary institution maintaining social order and preserving classical culture during the turbulent period of barbarian invasions. Gregory the Great, in particular, played a crucial role in establishing the medieval papacy, combining administrative skill with spiritual authority and missionary zeal. The church demonstrated remarkable ability to adapt to local cultures while maintaining its core beliefs. It incorporated Germanic tribal customs, adapted pagan festivals into Christian holidays, and developed local saints and devotions. This process of enculturation helped the church spread and take root in diverse cultures while maintaining its essential character. Missionaries like Patrick in Ireland and Augustine of Canterbury in England established churches that combined local traditions with Catholic orthodoxy. The development of monasticism profoundly influenced the church's evolution. The Desert Fathers established solitary traditions in Egypt, while figures like Benedict of Nursia created influential monastic rules that balanced prayer, work, and community life. Monasteries became centers of learning and manuscript preservation, playing a crucial role in maintaining knowledge through turbulent times. They also served as centers of technological innovation, particularly in agriculture, and provided essential social services like healthcare and education. The church emerged as the primary patron of learning, establishing cathedral schools and early universities, preserving classical texts and developing scholastic philosophy. Figures like Thomas Aquinas synthesized Christian theology with Aristotelian philosophy, creating sophisticated intellectual systems that continue to influence Catholic thought. The development of Gothic architecture, with its soaring cathedrals reaching toward heaven, expressed theological ideas in stone and glass, while manuscript illumination and religious music preserved and enhanced the church's liturgical traditions. Throughout the early medieval period, the church faced numerous challenges, including the rise of Islam, internal reforms, and conflicts with secular rulers. The Gregorian reform movement of the 11th century sought to purify the church and establish its independence from secular control, leading to the investiture controversy and changing relationships between church and state. The Crusades, while primarily military and political ventures, also reflected the church's growing confidence and its vision of a unified Christian society. The Catholic Church's history reveals an institution that is both divine and human, founded on spiritual principles but shaped by earthly realities. Its ability to survive and adapt through centuries of change while maintaining its core message demonstrates both its resilience and its relevance to human society. Through schisms, reforms, and renewals, the Church has maintained its essential character while adapting to changing circumstances. Today's Catholic Church stands as a testament to how divine inspiration can work through human instruments despite, or perhaps because of, their imperfections. Its story reminds us that great institutions are built not just on moments of divine inspiration, but through centuries of human effort, debate, and dedication. This history continues to influence how the Church faces contemporary challenges, drawing on its long experience of balancing tradition with necessary adaptation. The journey from a small group of persecuted believers to a global spiritual institution remains one of history's most remarkable transformations. It demonstrates how faith, human organization, and divine guidance can work together to create something that transcends its humble origins while remaining true to its essential mission. Understanding this complex history helps us appreciate both the Church's enduring influence and its continuing ability to evolve while maintaining its core identity. The story of the Catholic Church is In many ways, the story of Western civilization itself, reflecting the ongoing dialogue between faith and reason, tradition and progress, divine inspiration and human organization. Understanding the Church's origins and evolution invites us to reflect on the nature of faith, the role of institutions, and the interplay between the spiritual and the temporal. It reminds us that even the most enduring traditions are shaped by the people who carry them forward, with all their dreams, doubts, and decisions. So, as we look at the Catholic Church today, we see not just an institution, but a living testament to the complexity of human history and the enduring power of faith. What do you think? Is the Church's story a testament to divine guidance, human determination, or both?